Episode 132 of the State of the Old Republic podcast was originally recorded on August 2nd, 2025. It's the State of the Old Republic podcast. This week on the show, Galactic Season 9 is inbound, and yes, Zaiken needs our help testing his latest Flashpoint-enhancing concoctions. I'll break down the wild buffs, the rewards, and some big upgrades to the activity finder that make running flashpoints better than ever. And finally, free-to-play players rejoice, major accessibility changes are coming, plus a new subscriber-only event packed with gameplay perks. I'll also preview Feast of Prosperity rewards and/or inspired cartel market editions, more character modernizations, and everything else coming in 771. And with that, it's time to make the jump to Lightspeed.
And cue the moron.
Welcome to episode 132 of the State of the Old Republic podcast. I'm your host, Ted, and as you heard in the opening, I have a great show lined up for you today. On July 30th, the SWTOR developers held a live stream to talk about everything coming in Game Update 771, which will go live later this month. I'll break down all the features, rewards, system changes, you name it, and get ready because it's a lot. The main feature of this update is Galactic Season 9 Flashpoint Resurgence. Let's dive into what we can expect from the upcoming season. Galactic Season 8 feels like it just ended, because it kind of did. And now we're talking about Galactic Season 9. No rest for the weary galactic adventurer, as they say. The title for Season 9 is Flashpoint Resurgence. So, as you might have surmised, it's going to involve running flashpoints. Zaiken is back, and he's got more Zerka combat enhancers for us to test. All guaranteed to work, of course, mostly. This time, running flashpoints. This is going to work just like it did in Uprisings. You'll get a combat enhancer that you'll apply inside the flashpoint, and you'll get one of 5 random buffs. In addition to the buffs we had for Uprisings, there will be 2 new buffs, the experimental repulsor field and projectile probes. Here is developer Bryant Wood discussing them on the 771 live stream.
So the experimental repulsor field, when you activate this buff, you'll be given a temporary ability bar, which will come with 2 abilities. The first is Lift. You can levitate strong enemies or weaker, and then by lifting them, it enables you to use the second ability, Throw, where you can throw the lifted enemy into other enemies to deal some damage.
I wish it came with the screaming and running civilian as part of it. It's a missed opportunity.
Yes, unfortunately, civilian not included. Then the second will be the projectile probes. This will create 2 probes that will passively hover around the player and fire projectiles towards enemies while you're in combat.
I like that they're giving us 2 new buffs to go along with the ones we got for Season 8. The retreads are familiar, so we don't have to learn how to use them, and the new ones feel like upgrades and will be exciting to use if the RNG gods decide to grant them. Since we'll be running a lot of flashpoints in Season 9, the developers are adding some fantastic quality of life improvements to the activity finder. One of these huge changes, it grants players flexibility in how they choose which role to queue for. Here's Bryant Wood talking about that change on the live stream.
One of the big changes we're going to be allowing is that you can now choose all eligible roles when you're in the group tab. So as you can see in the screenshot, I have been able to select damage, heal, and tank, which is only accomplishable through both combat styles. So if your first combat style has a damage spec and a healing spec, you would be able to choose both of those. But if your second combat style allows you the option to do a tank spec, you'll be able to choose all 3 of them. Very important here is also going to be that while you are in queue, you can change your role for the Outworld. That means that you can queue up as a healer, swap to damage to go do daily or heroic areas, and then when your queue pops, The system will tell you you have been chosen as a healer. Please swap into a healer role before you accept the queue and are teleported to your content.
That is a very nice change indeed, but things don't end there. One of the most requested quality of life changes is finally here. Cutscene skipping. Yes, you heard me right. When you queue for a veteran or master mode flashpoint via the activity finder, cinematics will no longer play, and instead you'll be treated to a beautiful and, more importantly, brief fade to black. No more yelling spacebar or deciding if you have time to go AFK while someone sits frozen at the keyboard with their finger hovering over the keys, agonizing if their Jedi Knight should send Chief Engineer Zaiken and his team out the airlock, which, of course, they should. Now, if you're wondering about dark and light side choices, those will be made automatically and favor efficiency over morality. No alignment points will be granted. The goal is to get you in and out of flashpoints faster. So, using the S-list as an example, the choice to send Zaiken and crew out the airlock will be the default choice, since it allows you to progress to the next step in the flashpoint without any extra running around. If you're a flashpoint speedrunner, this is the change you've been waiting for. If you're a story lover and love the challenge of a difficult flashpoint, you still have options to experience that in veteran and master mode, but just not through the activity finder. You'll have to form a group and manually phase into your flashpoint. And if you're an alignment purist, auto dark side choices might sting, but hey, it's all about efficiency, and at least you won't have to see your dark deeds play out. Although that airlock scene is pretty great. I think we can all agree that if cutscene skip were the only change we got for flashpoints in 7.7.1, it'd be a tremendous win. But there is one other change coming, and yes, it's good. The eligibility requirements for the Activity Finder daily and weekly rewards are changing. You will no longer have to select every activity to qualify for the rewards. There will now be a minimum number of activities needed to qualify. In other words, you can now opt out of specific content without losing the reward credit. And to tie it all together, there will be a dedicated Flashpoint Resurgence queue in the Activity Finder, rotating veteran flashpoints that align directly with the weekly Galactic season objectives. So if you're chasing the meta achievement or just climbing up the rewards track, you'll know exactly where to queue. Well, I'll give you a moment to let the realization sink in that when it comes to flashpoints, the spacebar will be for jumping only. And then I'll jump into the incredible rewards we'll be earning throughout Season 9. No one in their right mind would log on to SWTOR and think, you know what I'd like to do today? Be a lab rat for Zaiken. I think we'd all rather see Kefis make a triumphant return and then be forced to battle him on the ice plains of Hoth while donning a set of resort swimwear before injecting ourselves with whatever enhancers Kai's peddling. Seriously, couldn't Zerka have hired Fez Burba for this? I know he's a seismologist and would probably send us to the depths of Manan to confirm a theory that the ocean floor is rising due to tectonic burping, but at least he's a scientist, and I bet his combat enhancer would also double as a calf dispenser, and we'd probably get a guest appearance on the mysteries of galactic science. But I digress. We're not working for Fez, we're helping out Kai, and give the man some credit because he's paying us with the most stylish and generous reward track we've seen all year. So let's take a look at what Kai and the devs are offering this time around. The theme of this season is Andor Season 2, so you'll find that many of the rewards are inspired by the show. There are 2 armor sets, a full set of collapsible and themed weapons, whatever that means. There are 6 vehicle mounts. Some have a flourish, others have thrusters and lighting based on your weapon crystals. There are a couple of mini pets, some Yavin 4 themed decorations, and more. It's a giant buffet so generous it almost makes up for injecting ourselves with questionable combat enhancers. And just like in past seasons, there is a meta achievement. We don't know the full details of what we'll need to do to complete it, but we do know the reward, which is a new T701 companion customization, which looks cool, but feels kind of random. Unless the developers are making drastic changes to the meta, you should expect to have to reach level 100 on the rewards track, complete 100 weekly objectives, and then something grindy related to flashpoints. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Dark vs. Light bosses stay a permanent part of Galactic seasons and are once again baked into the meta as well. Well, that's the scoop on Galactic Season 9 Flashpoint Resurgence. It's part of Game Update 771, which is coming later in August, and keep an eye out for the official Galactic Season 9 article, which will be posted on SWTOR.com as we get closer to the release of 771. I don't know about you, but I'm excited about this season's rewards. It could be the most sleek and well-themed set of swag we've seen to date. Just don't tell Zaiken I said that. Okay, everyone, deep breath. It's time to talk about one thing not arriving in Game Update 771, and yes, it stings: story content. The heart and soul of SWTOR and the feature that keeps us coming back for more won't be part of this patch. But this isn't about delays on the dev side. The holdup comes from the SAG-AFTRA video game voice actor strike, labor movement that paused new recordings across the industry for more than a year. Now that the strike is over, the SWTOR team needs time to schedule studio sessions with English, German, and French voice actors to get those stories properly voiced and polished. So while story isn't gone, it's just simmering off screen until everyone's mic checks are ready. And to give us a clearer picture of what's coming next, here's what Eric Musco had to say about the release schedule for story content on the live stream.
So, as you know, I've been waiting for a few pieces to fall into place. We have quite a bit of that, just a few more things that we still got to wait. So it's not coming in 771, but here is the roadmap for you, just so you have it all in your hands. Galactic Threads is planned to come in Game Update 7.8, which is our holiday update. And then right on the heels of that, we're just going to take the mold and throw it out the window. And so that means Masters Enigma, which is the story update that follows right after that, is fast following in 7.8.1. So normally, for those of you that follow our roadmap structure, we do story updates in our majors or our dot numbers. That's going to happen in our next update, Galactic Threads. That's where you should expect the next story update. And then we're going to break the mold a little bit. We don't usually do story in our dot ones, but we're going to anyway. So you'll get Masters Enigma following right after that in 7.8.1.
So bad news for now, but also really good news for later. We'll get Galactic Threads in December and then Masters Enigma in March. That will be a 3-month gap between story updates instead of 6. In addition to the Masters Enigma story, we'll also get date nights with Torian Kadera and Kira Carson in 7.8.1 as well. And who knows what will happen after that. Story usually comes with the major updates, and I do think the next major update will be 7.9 and not a new expansion, which means we should get more story in May or June of next year. After that, we might be back on the normal cadence with a new expansion and story arc for the holiday update. 2026 could be an exciting year for Star Wars: The Old Republic. After all, it will be the 15th anniversary of the game. But I'm getting way ahead of myself here. We still have the rest of 2025 to get through, which includes a story update. Thank the Force. Well, if you are a free-to-play player, I have some good news for you. Broadsword is introducing several changes designed to reduce friction with the free-to-play experience. Back in the day, the free-to-play system was designed to make you want to subscribe, It's chock full of annoyances and inconveniences akin to being served a bowl of soup without a spoon. Over the years, the game has changed, and some of these restrictions are likely to make you quit the game rather than sign up for the full experience. So, what's changing? If you're trying to romance Corso but can't get past the giant scar on his face, don't worry. You now have a fix for that, as free-to-play players can now equip companion customizations. Free-to-play players can also now display legacy titles, which means you can proudly let everyone know that you're a nerf herder, meatbag, or an incredible smell discoverer. Have you spent a lot of time creating the perfect look for your character only to have their pretty face locked behind a helmet? Prepare to rejoice, as you can now use the hide head slot feature. You will also be able to earn rested XP, gain the first cargo tab for free, receive increased escrow payouts, and have access to all of the quick bars. That's not everything though. Free-to-play players will also be able to use some artifact, i.e. purple gear, in the game. Here's what the developers had to say about that one on the live stream.
Yep, this one is very similar to like the companion customization of how frequently we would be like, hey, congratulations, you got a purple item. You can't equip it. So that's the setup if you want to talk through the specifics, Brian.
Yeah, so this was extremely prevalent in Flashpoints and was part of the reward changes that were made to those. But we have removed artifact authorization from all items under level 80, except for the reusable med packs from crafting. This is really meant to smooth out that leveling and story experience and make it so that our free-to-play players, when they do hit their cap and are exploring content, are getting rewards that they can actually use and can actually look forward to. So artifact authorization will now only impact the level 80 purple and higher endgame gear, as was originally intended from artifact authorization, and then those med packs as mentioned.
Yep, so it just simplifies it. Is it under level 80? Unimpacted. Done. Nice and simple and clean.
Overall, a nice set of changes for those of you that opt to play the game for free. There is one important change that affects everybody, doesn't matter if you're free to play or a subscriber. You can file this one under Fun While It Lasted. If you have a security key tied to your account, and in this day and age you really should, unless you like the idea of logging into the game and finding your bank account emptied and all of your stuff gone, I, for one, play this game to escape real life, not live it. If you have a security key, in addition to your account being protected, you also earn 100 cartel coins each month. Currently, you earn those coins whether you log on to play the game or not. That's about to change. Starting in 7.7.1, you will now be required to log on to the game at least once within the 30-day window, or you will not get your cartel coin grant. Why the change? I suspect there were some folks out there who were free to play, had a security key, but didn't play the game for years. They come back and are treated to a pile of cartel coins for doing essentially nothing. If you want those cartel coins, log on, even if it's just to decorate a stronghold or admire your collection of mounts and pets or whatever it is you do. That's the skinny on the free-to-play changes and what's happening with the security key. Well, stay strapped in because we're not ready to cut in the sublight engines just yet. We've got Feast of Prosperity and Cartel Market stuff to talk about, and there is a new subscriber-only event headed our way. If those incredible changes to the free-to-play system curbed your desire to subscribe, you might want to skip this segment because there is a subscriber-only event coming that may make you want to rethink your galactic life choices. So, what's this all about? According to the official Livestream recap, from September 9th to December 9th, 2025, active subscribers will notice a new type of login reward in the form of a currency. Subscribers who log in at least 4 times a week will receive this currency and will be able to redeem it at a special vendor that carries gameplay-focused rewards. These rewards can range from purchasing endgame or leveling gear, special XP and crafting boosts, etc. There will also be a unique companion customization reward on the vendor inspired by the Disney Plus series Andor that can be used on companion droids 2VR8 and C2N2. Log on 4 times a week and boom, money. We don't know how much currency we'll earn each week, nor do we know the full list of items and their associated costs. We do know that the companion customization reward is not just inspired by the Disney Plus series Andor, but it's inspired by the droid K2SO, which sounds pretty awesome. One very important note, this is a use it or lose it event, meaning after December 9th, the currency and vendor will disappear. You won't lose any items you purchased, just the ability to buy more stuff. If you see something you want and can afford it, don't wait till the end, just buy it. I know that once I see the items, their costs, and the rate at which I can earn the currency, I'll feed it into an AI engine to plan my roadmap, use a spreadsheet as a backup, and break out an abacus as a triple check to make sure I get everything I want from this event. Again, this event is for subscribers only and will run from September 9th to December 9th, which means it will cross over with everyone's favorite fall event, the Feast of Prosperity, which will feature a host of new rewards this year. I'll talk about that and some cool new items coming to the cartel market. Don't look now, but I think you're going to need a bigger cargo hold. That music can mean only one thing. The Feast of Prosperity is coming. The Feast of Prosperity is SWTOR's annual fall event, and it will run from October 7th through November 4th this year. The Feast is a lighthearted, story-driven event with daily quests, world boss hunts, and lots of cool culinary and dining-themed rewards that you can earn. If you're looking to transform your stronghold into an opulent banquet hall that will have you reminiscing about that time you dressed up as a Knight of Zakul and crashed Valen's Big Bash, the Feast of Prosperity has you covered. There is already a plethora of lavish decor elements that conjure images of opulent feasts and galactic revelry. And this year, the developers are adding a dozen new decorations ranging from banquet guests, hanging lights, beautiful carpets, and elegant mantelpieces. Now, if you want to grab everything, you'll need to go all in with your alt army, as there are a lot of items, they're not cheap, and you're going to want multiples of some of them. Once you have your stronghold transformed into a prosperity-inspired banquet hall, the only thing left is your grand entrance, and for that, you'll need the finest threads in the outer rim. The Feast Attendee robe, the Feast Attendee robe with scarf, and the Feast Attendee head wrap will have you looking like you just stepped off the set of a galactic fashion show. Whether you're channeling core world chic or outer rim flair, these outfits are perfect for making a statement at any prosperity-inspired gathering. Of course, if you want to go undercover to your party, there are some Andor-inspired items coming to the cartel market in 771. Most notable are the brushback hairstyle and Nightfall operative glasses with a dyeable frame. If playing the spy isn't your game, don't worry, these items will make you look more like Bono from YouTube than 007. And speaking of looking amazing, the developers are introducing character modernization updates in 771. This includes a major upgrade to the character select screen. With improved lighting and a new depth of field update that keeps the focus on the player character, it will be the perfect stage to showcase your new outfits. Whether you're rocking the Feast Attendee ensemble or channeling your inner Andor operative, your character will look stunning in the updated display. Other character modernizations coming in 771 include improvements to Ratataki, updates to Dark Side Corruption, and more color options for hair and montrals. Those cone-like sensory organs that grow from the top of a Torgruda's head. Not gonna lie, that makes them kind of creepy to me now. So whether you want to plan a stronghold soiree or look like an undercover rock star spy, Game Update 771 has everything you need to look fabulous, including those graphical updates. Now, if you're wondering how soon you'll be able to strut your stuff and snag those cartel market looks, stick around. I'll break down when 771 is landing, how to scoop up some Twitch drops, and what's on sale in the cartel market this month. There's still plenty to feast your eyes on. Well, just a few more things to go over before I let you go. There is an active Twitch drop happening right now. If you watch 1 hour of live SWTOR content, you will receive the Coruscant poster decoration. It's a beautiful picture of the Senate Tower framed in a purple border. Then, when 771 launches, you can earn the TF6 Striker mount by watching 4 hours of live SWTOR content. You have until August 13th to get the poster, and then you'll have 28 days to earn the mount once that drop goes live. Oh, and remember to connect your SWTOR account to your Twitch account, or you won't earn anything no matter how many hours of live SWTOR content you watch. And finally, there will be a variety of category sales on the cartel market, ranging between 30 to 90% off. On July 30th, mounts went on sale. On August 11th, tuning, toys, and crystals will go on sale. Then on August 23rd, it will be weapons. On September 4th, it's armor sets. And then on September 16th, the sale will close with decorations. And no, it does not look like there is a collection unlock sale to go along with this. Game Update 771 Flashpoint Resurgence will not be on the PTS, but we won't have to wait that long for it. The developer said it will go live later this month. And that's the state of the Old Republic for today. Let me cut in the sublight engines and cue the music and congratulate you on surviving another half hour listening to episode 132 of the State of the Old Republic podcast. I'm your host, Ted, and I thank you for tuning in. You can find this podcast on Buzzsprout and iTunes, wherever else you find your podcasts. I'm also back to putting these on YouTube. You can listen to the show directly from the show site, which is SWTORpodcast.com, and there is an RSS feed where you can subscribe to the podcast directly. If you have a question for the show, you can email me at SWTORpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening, and until next time, remember the Sith code, cake is a lie.